Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about, there was this clip going on around Twitter, and it's of Robyn in this one-on-one tell-all for Sister Wives that's going to air tonight. It's already up on Discovery Plus if you have Discovery Plus. But, you know, again, she's talking about the breakdown of the family culture, and I just have a lot of thoughts. One of the only things that Robyn has talked about this season whenever we see her in interviews is how much she hates the fact that the family's not getting together. We see her talk about it with Mary. We see her talk about it with Janelle. She just hates that the family's not getting together. But I've noticed how little Robyn has done to actually make it possible for the family to get together. Now, it is not Robyn's sole responsibility. Ultimately, I think Kody is the most at fault for the breakdown of all of his marriages. I don't think that he is a very present or active partner or father. That's really not the subject of this video. Anyways, it's just, for as much as Robyn complains and for as much as she has acted on things in her past to get what she wants, I would think that there were definitely opportunities for her to try to mend these fences.
I just felt like this is the family culture that we have built, and we're destroying that.
Tell me what's going on.
I hate crying.
No.
It's just painful. It's just painful because it felt like the family group and the unity, all of that stuff, just got thrown out the window because of the virus. I felt like it basically took that rug that we were shoving everything under, and just everything was shown.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, can we come back from this?
Can you?
I'm trying.
Kody is spending 99.9% of his time at Robyn's house. He explicitly said that he thinks of Robyn's house as his house. He thinks of all the other houses as those wives' houses. So I think a lot has contributed to this dynamic, and one being the fact that Robyn has amplified her and her kids' need for Kody. As all of the other kids are growing up and becoming independent, Robyn and her kids are becoming needier and needier of Kody's time and attention. And one of the things that I definitely took notice of that she does with Mary and Kody's relationship, that she absolutely does not do with Christine and Kody's relationship, is she encourages Mary to keep holding out hope. When they're at Coyote Pass for that family cookout, she encourages Kody to make a s'more for Mary. Mary knows, she overheard this, she knows it was Robyn who wanted Kody to do this. So we know that Robyn does take action on her own to try to mend the relationships between other sister wives and Kody. But only with the one relationship that is really, really irrevocably broken. I've never, and you guys can comment if there has been times where she's tried to play mediator between Christine and Kody, but I don't think I can recall a time that she has. But I also noticed that Janelle, there was the scene when Kody is quarantining at Janelle's house after they come back from the funeral. Robyn goes over to have a chat with Janelle, and Janelle even says in her interview, this is weird because we never hang out. So Kody is quarantining at Janelle's house, and Robyn has to insert herself into their family time and their family dynamic. And it just seems that she can't help herself. She has to be the main focus at all times. Robyn even goes out of her way when Mary confides in her that Kody told her they could be friends and that's it, that was a door open, and to not give up, keep fighting the good fight. And it's really interesting that she is so keen on having Mary stay a part of the family. She needs Mary. I've discussed this in a previous video. She needs Mary as part of this family to say, hey, we're still plural, like, because this is still sister wives, even though Mary and Kody don't have a relationship at all. There is potential there for Janelle and Kody to have a romantic relationship. And Kody even said he hadn't shut the door completely on an intimate marriage with Christine. But so she is not trying to nourish those marriages whatsoever. Only the really, really broken one with Mary. I'm gonna make a separate video on Kody and Mary and just how differently each one views their marriage, because it is uncomfortable, it's tragic, it's toxic, and it's baffling. So that's gonna be a separate video. But Mary this is perfect for Robyn. Mary is a constant reminder of betrayal for Kody, which is like the ultimate for a narcissist. Even if you're completely checked out of your marriage, you just haven't gotten around to doing the divorce, or you don't believe in divorce, as Kody says, to be cheated on, to be betrayed, that is a huge betrayal. So Robyn wants to keep Kody around as a constant reminder of that disloyalty. And there is no way. We've seen we haven't, at the time I'm recording this video, the first part of the one-on-one tell-all has not aired on TLC yet. It is up on Discovery Plus, like I said. But we have seen in a teaser clip that Kody says he will never get to a safe place with Mary again. It's just never going to happen. So why does Robyn keep encouraging this? Also, when Robyn wants something or wants to make a life change, she goes for it. So her sitting there saying like, oh, I'm just so mad that nothing's happening, that we're not getting together as a family. We've seen her act on things in the past, like My Sister Wives Closet, which she kind of strong-armed everyone into being a part of. She is divorced. Now, she has been incredibly vague, and her ex-husband has not spoken out publicly about their relationship, so we really don't have a lot to go off of as far as their relationship dynamic. She has alluded to mistreatment, but so taking her at her word, she did make the proactive step to divorce that husband and sign up to be in a plural family with Kody. Piggybacking off of that, not only did she divorce that husband, she went so far as to having Mary, well, you can argue like who made who do what, but Mary ultimately divorced Kody so that Kody could legally marry Robyn and legally adopt those kids, which would terminate the parental rights of their biological father. So this is all doing a lot to make this family legally all the Browns. Moral of the story here is that Robyn's words really ring hollow to me. There has been very little that she has proactively done, if anything at all, to try to mend fences between the kids and their dad and the wives and Kody. If I had a friend that was discussing with me the potential that they weren't going to be a participant in a major surgery of one of their kids, I would be like, dude, what the fuck? And that's just like, if that was a friend of mine, I would be like, you need to work with your child's care team, medical team, and figure out the safest way that you can be there, but you better fucking show up. I think that this was a huge failure on the part of all of the wives, Mary, Janelle, and Robyn. They should have all rallied behind Christine and really just talked some sense into Kody. I think that was a huge... Ultimately, it's Kody who failed his daughter, but I think a lot could have been done with as far as like, hey, Kody, I got this. I have a nanny. I have my 3 teenage and to adult age children. Like, I have my family that we're letting come into this house. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Your daughter is having a lung collapse and major surgery. You need to be there for her. We've heard them say multiple times they consider all the grandkids their grandkids. They consider all the kids their kids. So this should be, Isabel should be an extension of Robyn's kids to Robyn, right? Like, would Robyn even entertain the notion that Kody wouldn't be there for one of her kids' surgeries? That's not even in the realm of something we could even consider, because that would just never happen. So this is a huge, like, and this is really on all the moms. I think they all should have come together and said, hey, we got to put all of our, like, you know, nonsense aside. We need to figure out what we have to do so that Isabel has Kody and Christine with her while she has her surgery. I also think it's not really fair for her to call Christine out for, like, not really trying. I think that's kind of hypocritical. Most of us, and I've seen it talked about, like, on my page, on my social media, seen it talked about on Facebook, on Reddit, on Twitter. Most people, I think, know that Robyn and Kody talk about all of Kody's other relationships. But let's even suspend that notion. How can Robyn fairly judge the toxicity of Christine's relationship with Kody? Because she's not a part of it. She tries to be a part of it, like how she tried to insert herself into Janelle and Kody's quarantine time together. But she herself alleges mistreatment in her previous marriage, and she left that situation. That seems like a really unfair indictment to make against Christine. Like, we know that you talk to Kody, but you are only getting Kody's side of the story. And as we all know, there's person A's side, person's B side, and oftentimes the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Ultimately, Robyn's actions don't support her, in my opinion, Crocodile Tears. Now, whether or not she's truly emotional over it, I don't know. But in my opinion, Crocodile Tears over the breakdown of the family culture. It makes no sense to bring in outside childcare. Now, we have not had any confirmation that this nanny is anything other than a childcare or a tutor. If that is truly all she is for the kids, childcare and a tutor, then why can't the other sister wives help out with that? That is, when you watch Seeking Sister Wife and they're trying to court another woman into their family, that is the selling point. Like, hey, you have all hands on deck with, it's not child rearing and housework that all falls on one person. It's shared responsibility. These kids are being brought up with many mother figures. This is supposed to be like a selling point. When she refused to let Mary see her kids because of fairness, remember, she said that that would be bad optics. Well, maybe she shouldn't sleep with Kody unless he's sleeping with all of his other wives because of, you know, I don't know, fairness. Anyways, you guys, you'll have to let me know what you think down in the comments. You know, I don't think it's Robyn's fault that Kody and Christine are getting a divorce. I don't like to, like, point fingers necessarily, but Robyn, in this interview, when she is giving her one-on-one, she is placing the blame solely on Christine, as if it's Christine's fault that their marriage broke apart, which, as someone who has a failed marriage herself, I would hesitate to think that she would take all the responsibility for her failed marriage. So I think that that's just really unfair. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Reality Squad, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.